G'day, 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 you absolute bunch of bloody internet legends. Loserbum back on your screen with some low quality, low script, single take, retro computing content. And put your hands up if you think that once we abandoned or went beyond the 7-segment display and 3 buttons on an electronic device, once we added more pixels, more segments, once we added more buttons, the human-computer interaction has just gone downhill for the past 40 years. This is what we should go back to, and then life would be so much better. As it says in the title, we're going to build a smartwatch today. Not going to have a touchscreen, but it's going to be a very smart watch. What we're doing is we're taking one of these beautiful green things, which is called a sensor watch. It's a drop-in circuit board, which drops in to classic Casio wristwatches, certain models. One-to-one replacement, and that big black thing is actually an ARM processor, so you can program it and do all kinds of things while still keeping the old school LCD, we call it the glass, and the buttons and the housing of the very stylish Casio line of wristwatches. So what we're going to do is we're going to flash the firmware, and then I'll take you through all the steps from taking your watch apart, putting the board in, putting it back, and hopefully it works. Going to do it as fast as possible, because we know that the internet is not the most patient medium. So with that, I will switch over to camera 2. Here it is. This is what you're going to need, broadly speaking. Small Phillips head screwdriver, a compatible Casio digital watch. It has to be a real one. It has to be one of the models that fit. There is a lot of fakes out there. Might get back to that later. But this is an A159 gold. And it's actually not yet on the list of officially approved watches. The 158 is, but 159 isn't. So if this succeeds at the end of the video, we will have extended the list of compatible or known compatible watches and give something back to the community. So you need the watch, you need the sensor watch board. This is what it looks like. Mine looks a little bit different because I have an older version which has a separate temperature board. No longer the case, no longer available. Nowadays you just get one of these. A pair of tweezers is not a bad idea. I've got also a small flathead, but that is optional. You can do that with the tweezers. So before we get into the disassembly, I'm going to show the flashing the firmware process. So we take our little widget, and we notice it's got 2 sides. This here is where the LCD connects. So this side with those connections there will face towards the front. The back one with the little unicorn monster orc thing, that is, well, that's the back side, but it's actually the top. So if I want to flash the firmware, see that little bit there at the top? That's a micro USB, right? That's how small it is. So you plug that into your micro USB. Notice that the wider side, I would call it the top of the micro USB, goes towards this side where that little monster is. You notice already, or you may have heard, so it's already recognized that there's something connected to USB, and then there's this microscopic little button here which you have to feel, and you have to double tap it. You really have to tap. Where is it? You can't even feel it. Where is it? Tap. That looked good. Is he flashing? No, he's not flashing. Didn't get him. See, now maybe you can see that the little LED is flashing, which means he's in programming mode. Let me go over to the other screen now. And we saw that he's like, once you do that double tap, it's like, hey, I'm a USB stick. It's like just a perfect, it just reports in as a perfectly normal USB stick. And like most Arduinos, it has the UF2 files. Now, how do I get the firmware that I want to flash? Well, guess what? There's a builder. There's an online builder where you can select all the bits that you want. And we're going to do that quickly. World clock. We need the set. I made a mistake about that recently. Whoops. If you just click and then go down. We need the set time. Add some other ones, etc. So you select what you want and go to build a watch. And it does 2 things. First, it'll build that file for you, and it loads it in an emulator. Right? So that's what we have here. And because of just the random things which I chose, this is what it is. And you can actually test this with the buttons. And things like that. And by long pressing the buttons, that's how I get to my secondary watch faces. So short press for the primary watch faces, a long press for the secondary watch faces on the bottom left-hand button. Let's keep accelerating. Is the thing still there? Let me see. Where? This PC. Let's hope the watch is still there. Oh, I was talking for too long, and now it's disconnected. So let's hit that again. Button. No, not fast enough. You really have to click. It's almost like clicking a mouse. Duck, duck. There it is. Ah, you bugger. No? Okay, I might skip this bit or fast forward through this bit because it's not quite working. All right, I got him. He's back, right? And so now here is a watch face I downloaded earlier, right? And I'm just going to drag that over. It'll overwrite. As soon as the file's uploaded, the thing will disconnect, and we're ready to go. Now, we go back to the other monitor. Apologies for that little thing. So we now have our custom firmware on here. I just wanted to show that to you because once it's in the watch, then you have to take it all apart, and that's a pain in the ass. So, right, so here's our watch. I've cheated a little bit. I've already removed the 4 screws. The nice things about the watch that's being used here is that it's actually fixed with screws, so you don't have to pop off the back and scratch it, which is annoying. So unscrew the back, put that over there, take out the little rubber seal. There we go. Yeah, just remember how that is, how that fits. Like it's counterintuitive. These wider bits here actually go in the corners rather than top and bottom. Take that. Now it's easiest. There's this piece of paper here which allows you just to pull out the insides of the watch, and there we are. We have the insides, right? They're still working. And now we get cracking. We take the watch apart, and what we have, there's no screws in the inside. On these 4 corners here, there's little clips, little metal clips. So you have this back piece of metal, which is both the buttons as well as the clip. Then you have a battery, then you have the circuit board, and then you have the glass. So you just lift these up gently a little bit, very gently. You don't want to bend this metal, right? That's why I have a little screwdriver here up. And again, I might fast forward through this bit if it's super fiddly. Come on. You can see I have not actually ever done this on this watch before. That's why it's a little bit tight. Come on. Yep, this smells very much like a fast forwarding section. There we go. We got one, and you can see it's the half is off. Once you got 2 of them off, the other one comes off as well. Come on, you fucker. It's a technical term out of the watchmaking community. There we go. We got 3 of them off. We got 4 of them off. The back comes off. As I said, be gentle, wiggle a little bit, because once this stuff is bent, you'll never get it back quite how the way it's supposed to be. All right, that's come off. We've got the metal bit. We've got the battery. You got to remember that the plus goes towards that back side. That watch. Whoops, in this case, there's even a little bit of something there which was actually sticking the watch out. Very fancy, eh? Does that matter for us where that goes? Nope. Okay. And here, this is our original board, and this is our new board. One thing you have to do, you have to take this little metal thing here, because that provides the contacts from the board to the battery. So just pop that out. It's not fixed. It's just like in there with 2 little hooks which go in the holes. Again, be gentle. Not like me. You can push it through from the back gently. There's basically, it's annoying. There's a little, there it's gone. No, it hasn't. There's a little hook at the end there which hooks into that hole. There we go. That little bit is symmetrical, so that has to go to the corresponding places here on the circuit board, and there's the mounting holes as well, so that's easy. Up, put in, drops in completely smoothly. The battery is already there. Now we just got to remember, where do the buttons go? And the way that goes, the next thing you got to do is we take our glass here, and we notice that this row of contacts here, that's what connects to that black thing. That's actually a connector. And if you do that, those little plastic pegs will drop exactly into these holes, and everything will fit. So we have that. Now we put the back on again, which is always a pain because the battery wants to fall off. Oops-a-daisy. Panasonic battery, not just any old cheap Chinese shit. Well, it's probably made in China, but it's still a Panasonic. If you want to know what goes where, the one side that has two buttons, you can see that on the metal bit. There's two buttons here, but there's only one button there, so that's how you align that. Make sure those little guys go in. Align the clips on the outside, and I noticed that I did bend this one quite badly. I'll put him back into position. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, okay, there's a start. Okay, because we're not quite in yet. You see how not everything's perfectly connected. We don't have the full display. So, gonna need to. Now we go. So once all 4 of these hooks are back on, the circuit board has got a proper connection with the LCD, and we have all the buttons. We can even press them here, and you will notice if I do a long press here on that one, it's going to my extra functions which I have on here. Yeah, what do I have? I think this is the. No, I've got the thermometer and all those things. So anyway, yeah, we've got the watch. We've already done the transplant. That was the transplant of the actual circuit board, right? Purely mechanical, purely electrical. Now we just have to reinstall it in the watch. Trick is make sure the buttons are, because they're not spring loaded in here, right? It's just a little bit from the circuit board that pushes them back. Make sure those are all the way out, otherwise your circuit board will not want to go back in. Make sure we have the right buttons on the right, or the correct buttons on the correct side, and that everybody is happy there. And then we just drop that in. Ta-da! And now we have built a smartwatch with functions which are nobody else. From my view, no locally, I've got a sunrise, sunset, so I would have to give where I am on the planet. Otherwise, he doesn't know the sunrise, sunset. If I hold it longer, if I hold the lot, yep, now that's the moon phase I've got down here. I've got the temperature sensor working. I don't even know what this is. Oh, it's a Pomodoro timer, and here's the character set demo showing everything switched on the widget. Okay, that's where we are. Excellent, right? And the only thing to do now, which I'm not going to show you, is simply take the seal, put it back, take the back, put it back, screw it all tight together, and then enjoy your stylish gold Nigerian style digital watch. That's it. We built a smartwatch. We built a smartwatch. Well done. Congratulations. Medals all round. Couple of things to finish up on. Very simple. There's flashing the firmware, but there's also making your own firmware. So in future, there may be, there may be a video where I go through these instructions, doing the Windows tool chain, and then I can actually download the source code and build my own programs which are going to run on this watch. Try that. Doing that with even with your Apple Watch, you can't build your own flipping programs. Bloody walled gardens. This is open source hardware, open source software provided by the community, the Sensor Watch community. Great bunch of guys. Joey Castillo. I'm going to screw this together and wear it proudly. I shall wear it proudly. I shall. With that, I wish you all a lovely continuation of your day, week, weekend, whatever you are doing. You're the internet. I'm Loserbum. You're all a bunch of bloody 7-segment, 3-button, 8-bit legends, and I am out of here.